Yep, that's a tree growing through someone's house. Sure is. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the C Show, and I'm your host, Mr. C. For all of our subscribers, welcome back. Yeah, I know we haven't made contact in a while, but we're back on board now. We're putting out some on a regular basis. For all of the new subscribers, welcome aboard. And for all you millions of people out there that have not liked, share, comment, and subscribe, go ahead and do so. And if you don't feel like doing all of that, just give us a like. It does help us to move the channel forward. Black fatigue.
Yes, I see black fatigue as that undesirable that blacks may portray. So.
Well, you know where it came from. It came from that book that was written in 2020 talking about how black people experience mental, spiritual, emotional, physical fatigue from living around white people who are just racist and, they have an advantage and we're just oppressed all the time. Do you think something like that exists, V?
Yeah, not just with the white people. Some black people don't have tremendous black fatigue and they're experiencing some of these black habits and things that black people are portraying.
Well, originally it was a complaint against white people. It was a complaint written by, allegedly on behalf of black people, saying that living in a racist society eventually wears you down. And that didn't get that far. But that definition has been completely turned on its head now, where you hear black fatigue is white people, black people, Asian people, all kinds of people, fatigued, tired of black people. Tired of black people, which is so unfair because it's not all black people. It's ghetto and it's ratchet. And there's a difference between ghetto and ratchet and black people. But we all look the same, so we get kind of, lumped up in the same thing. But it's ghetto ratchet behavior. I know I got it. I'm tired of it. I see it all the time. In the store the other day, this dude unloads on this dude working, and he pulls the race thing because the guy wasn't moving fast enough and getting him a piece of chicken. It's incredible.
So what you said, the black guy was talking to the worker?
It was an old black guy talking to a young white guy, worker, because he didn't get his fried chicken fast enough for him. He just went all over him. I guess that was his idea of proving he was a man.
Yeah, and you're right.
So he used the race card.
Yeah.
He did. He told the young man, he said, well, you're not moving fast enough. You're not doing your job. Person in the store kind of played it off. I thought it was very nice how he handled it. He did not, go off on this black guy. And this black guy, he was very rude. He was loud. You could hear it all over the store. And what he was accusing the guy of was definitely unnecessary.
Totally. He just didn't like the idea of standing in line the length of time that he did.
Yes, and there were other people in the same line.
Yep. See, this is the kind of thing that is passing for black culture today. Belligerence, rudeness, aggression, violence, lack of respect. And this is what was passing for black culture. Now, let's face it, there's always been black on black crime. That's not new, especially up north. But the levels of what we're seeing today is unprecedented. It's not always been this bad. It's really ravenous today.
I've been seeing this happen a long time ago, in the 70s, when I used to work as a bag boy, bagging groceries.
Yep.
And it was a black neighborhood. People come up to the cashier and they be unhappy about something and fuss out and everything, Plus the cashiers were cool. I know this guy was on heroin. He couldn't get his heroin fixed. And some guy that can't get the heroin fixed, whether you're black or white, can be mean as hell.
Incredible times, man. Kind of break your heart, to think that, that this much trouble is afoot.
Carnival Cruise?
Yeah, Carnival Cruise.
24 people are now banned from sailing with Carnival Cruise Line after getting into a fight. The video from Saturday appears to show a group of people, you see them here shoving each other while disembarking a ship inside of a terminal in Galveston. You can see people being pushed to the ground. In a statement to NBC News, Carnival says this happened in an area under the authority of U.S. Customs and Border Patrol and has been turned over to law enforcement.
And anytime that you see great numbers of ghetto or ratchet in there, is oftentimes it's not a good thing.
Would they have a lot of bad things going on in that
Yeah,
news?
there was
robberies and stuff?
I don't know about the robbery aspect, but what I saw was a bunch of people fighting. Los Negros. Doing their thing. V?
Yeah, well, in the area where I am, there are several activities that used to happen, and they've been discontinued because they used to have a carnival. People went to the went this year because it was there last year and some years before. They went there.
Right.
Gates closed. Didn't have enough cops to manage the circus.
They didn't have enough security.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, indeed. And so, and that was because
You
of all
can't
the
beat
corruption.
that as a party atmosphere when you have cops all over the place. That's a great party, isn't it?
So and that was the result of all the disruptions that had happened at the circus before.
So now they don't have anything.
So now they don't have anything. And that was something for the kids to go to, maybe to keep them off the street.
Well, I tell you, over in the area not too far from here, they had a Krispy Kreme.
Yes.
And Krispy Kreme was always known as the driver's friend or the trucker's friend, because if you saw that Krispy Kreme sign, you knew you could pull in there at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and get you a cup of Joe and a sinker and get back on the road for a little while, get you a donut and some coffee.
Nice warm donuts.
You got that right.
That's right.
Not anymore. That's why they close it up. Why?
Exactly.
Ratchet.
Exactly.
Ratchet was in there. I noticed the same thing at IHOP as well. And what is the restaurant where all the ex-drug addicts serve breakfast at? What was that? Waffle House. Right. And they said, y'all not coming to here.
Right.
They established with that black plastic thing up there and said, y'all can go stay outside and order through here. So at a certain time, they locked their door, and Ratchet ain't coming in there.
Or the company would hire a security guard.
They tried that over at IHOP, because I do remember there may have been a cop in there, but it was just, man, it was, no. It's just unnecessary, man. Let it go.
A lot of people go to clubs and they get drunk, they get their juice in them.
They're talking about reparations. Reparations is ridiculous. Reparations is a goofy idea. Now, let me get this straight. Reparations involves people who were never enslaved receiving money from people who never had enslaved people. So the people who never had anything to do with slavery need to pay money to the people,
never had nothing to do with it.
money who never were slaves. That doesn't make any sense.
And how is the money going to be distributed if there is a reparation? People think of that as a form of money sometimes.
Well, I'll tell you what, as ridiculous as it is, the idea of giving money to people for slavery who were never enslaved and making people pay money for slavery who never enslaved anybody is a wacky, crazy, ridiculous idea. But if they start handing out them checks, they hand out a check with $100,000, $200,000, I'm going to get in line. I'm going to tell you right now. I sure am. I'm not going to turn down one thin dime. Matter of fact, I can prove that my grandmother on one side of my family was raised by a slave. My grandma born in 1900 and was raised by an enslaved person. Can I get 2 checks? That's good.
I guess it's a lot.
I sure am.
I guess it's a lot of ways you can do it. When black people own a house, don't charge them any more property tax.
Well, whatever it is.
Don't charge no more. If you're a black man, no more property tax.
Yep.
For you.
That's
one way.
I'll take that too.
I bet you Donald Trump would try something like that.